Am I the asshole for excluding my adopted sister from family photos? I am, and my adopted sister Ally is. The way we're related is that my younger brother Michael has been with his wife Maya since their freshman year of high school. Maya and Ally had a really bad home life, and my mom is very much a "my home is open to everyone" type of person. So over that year, Maya began spending more and more time at our house, eventually bringing Ally over as well since she was always babysitting. By the time Michael and Maya were 16 years old, Maya basically lived in the guest room and Ally spent after school, most weekends, holidays. My mom and dad say that they love both Maya and Ally like their own children. My other siblings also treat her like she's a part of the family. Even after Maya and Michael moved out, Ally is still at their house the same amount, if not more than she was before. Now, to preface, I have nothing against Ally. She's a good kid and I make an effort to be nice to her. However, I've never really liked how she was foisted into our lives. She's not actually adopted and she still has parents and her own family. Yet my parents spend so much time and resources on her. It's ridiculous. Everyone else has started unironically calling her their daughter or sister, and I've refused. I just don't consider her to be family. Anyways, I got married recently, which is where the issues start. I invited Ally to the wedding, of course, and she came with all of my other family. When we were doing pictures of the wedding parties, I decided that I wanted one with all of my immediate family, so my parents, my siblings, and Maya and Michael's daughter. My mom brought Ally up to come take the picture with us and I was forced to tell her no. My mom started to get upset, but then Ally said it was okay and sat down by herself. My mom isn't a very confrontational person, so she didn't make a big deal of it, but then everyone else realized that Ally wasn't there and they got mad as well. Ultimately, we took the photo how I wanted it because they didn't want to do this at my wedding, but my entire family is pissed at me now. My mom said that Ally cried when she got home because I don't love her, which I don't. I feel like they forced into a position where I had to do an asshole thing by forcing this kid onto me. I don't think I should have to consider her family if I don't want to. Am I the asshole? After the ceremony, but before the reception, the wedding party and both of our close families took photos. I did not include Ally in this photo session and she sat with the rest of the regular guests waiting for dinner. I did not intentionally exclude her from any of the photos taken. I'm sure she's in some of them from throughout the night, especially because she was there with my family. I hope that clears some things up. The people who are agreeing with me are starting to convince me that I'm wrong. To the people calling my parents nasty things in my PMs, or just saying that they aren't good people, you're dead wrong. My mom is the most caring and kind-hearted woman in the world, and I should have made that more clear in my post. To be clear, I am also not a monster. I don't mistreat Ally. I get her birthday and Christmas gifts every year. However, I am starting to understand that I did do a shitty thing by publicly excluding her at my wedding because I wanted it to be exactly how I imagined. Especially because my mom was apparently blindsided by my feelings. I was 16-18 when Ally started coming around a lot and I didn't form the same bond everyone else did. I never super liked being around kids, including my sister who by all accounts behaved way worse than Ally ever did. But I recognize that she's become a part of our family. And I think I'm going to make more of an effort to get to know her properly, because I do know she is very mature and intelligent for her age. Also, I don't mean to minimize what Maya and Ally have gone through. By saying she wasn't physically abused, I more also meant to explain why she hadn't been legally removed from her mother's house. She does have extended family that actually cares about her, but they live at minimum an hour away, so she stays with my parents the majority of the time.
Am I the asshole for saying I'll be driving myself and paying for my own room on the upcoming family vacation so I won't have to be a babysitter? I was repeatedly stuck playing the part of helper and babysitter on family outings. I had to move out of my parents' house because I kept being forced to help watch my 3 nephews. Last year we took a family vacation in summer to the coast. I rode along with my parents, and they paid for my hotel room. Only, I had to share that room with 3 rowdy boys because my sister and her husband wanted a room to themselves. I was promised time to do my own things on the vacation, but instead I ended up having to help with these kids. I complained to everyone about it and was reminded I was there for free. And then we pretty much just did only one thing I wanted to do, which was tour an art gallery. I like doing this whenever I'm at the coast, but the kids find it boring. This year my parents have a beach trip planned for June, and they assumed I'd be riding along the same way as last year, but I refused. I said I'd be driving myself and paying for my own hotel stay to have my own room. My parents were shocked and tried to remind me of the cost. I said it was no worry. I've got a good job and a decent running car. I can more than afford it. That's when the buts started. I stated the previously listed things as why I'll be driving myself and paying for myself. I want to be able to enjoy this vacation as an adult and not be treated like a child like last year. My parents told my sister, and she called to blow up at me that I'll be ruining the vacation if I'm off doing my own thing while she has to wrangle her 3 boys. I ended up yelling at her that last year all she did was rope me into her mess. I didn't really get to do much of anything I wanted to do, and I was treated like the bad guy for wanting to just go to an art gallery. I'm a grown man. I deserve my own vacation too. Now my sister is not speaking to me, and my parents are still trying to convince me to just ride with them to keep the peace. I'm still refusing, but the pressure is getting to me. Am I the asshole for not giving in? I know they'll have a pretty hard time when they won't have another person there to help.
Am I the asshole for only buying my parents' stuff that cannot be shared or taken while my brother and his family live with us? My brother has been knocking up his wife since they were in high school. Their oldest is now 13, but they have 3 more. She is a stay-at-home mom, and he works as cleaning staff at a FIFO camp. It's pretty good money, but they waste a lot of it. They have multiple gaming systems, and the 2 oldest kids have very new iPhones. I live in the loft above my parents' garage. I do not pay rent because my folks want me to save up for my future. I help out around the house and I buy groceries for my parents, as well as myself. My brother and his family live in the in-law suite in my parents' basement. It was supposed to be a rental to get them some extra money for when they retire, but after my brother lost his job because he would not get vaccinated, our folks let them move in. I also love to buy them gifts, but my brother and his family always needed exactly what I happened to give them. For example, I brought my mom a very colorful bag from Colombia called a mochila. It is just a woven cotton shoulder bag made with very vibrantly colored yarn. My niece 9 saw it and wanted to use it for a project at school, where she promptly lost it. I got my father a bottle of Van Winkler bourbon since he loves to have a drink after a long day. My brother and his wife found it and drank it mixed with orange juice because it was so strong tasting. So now I do other stuff. I took my mom to go see Anastasia and I got us really good seats. No one else was invited. I took my dad out for a steak dinner, and then to a speakeasy in our city and treated him to a $160 cocktail. These are things my parents love doing but won't waste money on. I keep the groceries I buy in my loft. I will make meals for my parents and have them over, or I will bring the ingredients and cook with my dad. My brother started asking why I don't leave the groceries in the freezer, fridge, or pantry that they have access to, and why I stopped buying my parents gifts. He says that I'm living there for free and I should give them more. Asked him how much he was paying them in rent, or how he was contributing to the household, and he said he was tired on the weeks he was home and that his wife and kids were too busy to help. I work a full-time job. I volunteer at a cat rescue. I do theater sports as a hobby, and I still manage to help with yard work, housework, errands, and helping with my grandmother who is in a locked-in facility for dementia patients. I pointed this out and he said I was being a little bitch. I said I wasn't stupid enough to leave anything around that he or his family could steal. Now, we are fighting and my parents are upset. His wife called me an asshole for not sharp the treats I buy for my parents. I can afford to buy treats for my parents and I That not for 5 more people who do not contribute. For more stories, subscribe to our channel and share your opinion in the comments.